Ways to lose belly fat and live a healthier life. Maintaining a trim midsection does more than make you look great, it can help you live longer. Larger waistlines are linked to a high risk of heart disease, diabetes and even cancer. Losing weight, especially belly fat, also improves blood vessel functioning and also improves sleep quality. A middle-aged man eating a watermelon slice in the middle of a field. It's impossible to target belly fat specifically when you diet. But losing weight overall will help shrink your waistline. More importantly, it will help reduce the dangerous layer of visceral fat, a type of fat within the abdominal cavity that you can't see but that heightens health risks, says Carrie Stewart, Doctor of Education, Director of Clinical and Research Physiology at Johns Hopkins. Here's how to whittle down where it matters most. 1. Try curbing carbs instead of fats. When Johns Hopkins researchers compared the effects on the heart of losing weight through a low-carbohydrate diet versus a low-fat diet for 6 months, each containing the same amount of calories, those on the low-carb diet lost an average of 10 pounds more than those on a low-fat diet, 28.9 pounds versus 18.7 pounds. An extra benefit of the low-carb diet is that it produced a higher quality of weight loss, Stewart says. With weight loss, fat is reduced, but there is also often a loss of lean tissue, muscle, which is not desirable. On both diets, there was a loss of about 2 to 3 pounds of good lean tissue along with the fat, which means that the fat loss percentage was much higher on the low-carb diet. 2. Think eating plan, not diet. Ultimately, you need to pick a healthy eating plan you can stick to, Stewart says. The benefit of the low-carb approach is that it simply involves learning better food choices, no calorie counting is necessary. In general, a low-carb way of eating shifts your intake away from problem foods, those high in carbs and sugar and without much fiber, like bread, bagels and sodas, and toward high-fiber or high-protein choices, like vegetables, beans and healthy meats. 3. Keep moving. Physical activity helps burn abdominal fat. One of the biggest benefits of exercise is that you get a lot of bang for your buck on body composition, Stewart says. Exercise seems to work off belly fat in particular because it reduces circulating levels of insulin which would otherwise signal the body to hang on to fat, and causes the liver to use up fatty acids, especially those nearby visceral fat deposits, he says. The amount of exercise you need for weight loss depends on your goals. For most people, this can mean 30 to 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise nearly every day. 4. Lift weights. Adding even moderate strength training to aerobic exercise helps build lean muscle mass, which causes you to burn more calories throughout the entire day, both at rest and during exercise. 5. Become a label reader. Compare and contrast brands. Some yogurts, for example, boast that they're low in fat, but they're higher in carbs and added sugars than others, Stewart says. Foods like gravy, mayonnaise, sauces and salad dressings often contain high amounts of fat and lots of calories. 6. Move away from processed foods. The ingredients in packaged goods and snack foods are often heavy on trans fats, added sugar and added salt or sodium, 3 things that make it difficult to lose weight. 7. Focus on the way your clothes fit more than reading a scale. As you add muscle mass and lose fat, the reading on your bathroom scale may not change much, but your pants will be looser. That's a better mark of progress. Measured around, your waistline should be less than 35 inches if you're a woman or less than 40 inches if you're a man to reduce heart and diabetes risks. 8. Hang out with health-focused friends. Research shows that you're more apt to eat better and exercise more if your friends and family are doing the same. 9. Avoid sugar and sugar-sweetened drinks. Foods with added sugars are bad for your health. Eating a lot of these types of food can cause weight gain. Studies show that added sugar has uniquely harmful effects on metabolic health. Numerous studies have indicated that excess sugar, mostly due to the large amounts of fructose, can lead to fat building up around your abdomen and liver. Sugar is half glucose and half fructose. When you eat a lot of added sugar, The liver gets overloaded with fructose and is forced to turn it into fat. Some believe that this is the main process behind sugar's harmful effects on health. It increases abdominal fat and liver fat, which leads to insulin resistance and various metabolic problems. Liquid sugar is worse in this regard. The brain doesn't seem to register liquid calories in the same way as solid calories, so when you drink sugar-sweetened beverages, you end up eating more total calories. A study observed that children were 60% more likely to develop obesity with each additional daily serving of sugar-sweetened beverages. Try minimizing the amount of sugar in your diet and consider completely eliminating sugary drinks. This includes sugar-sweetened beverages, sugary sodas, fruit juices, and various high-sugar sports drinks. Read the labels to make sure products do not contain refined sugars. Even foods marketed as health foods can contain significant amounts of sugar. Keep in mind that none of this applies to whole fruit, which are extremely healthy and have plenty of fiber that mitigates the negative effects of fructose. 10. Eat more protein. Protein may be the most important macronutrient for weight loss. Research shows it can reduce cravings by 60%, boost metabolism by 80 to 100 calories per day, and help you eat up to 441 fewer calories per day. If weight loss is your goal, adding protein may be the single most effective change you can make to your diet. Not only can protein help you to lose weight, but it may also help you to avoid regaining weight. Protein may be particularly effective in reducing abdominal fat. One study showed that people who ate more and better protein had much less abdominal fat. Another study indicated that protein was linked to a significantly reduced chance of abdominal fat gain over 5 years in women. This study also linked refined carbs and oils to more abdominal fat and linked fruit and vegetables to reduced fat. Many of the studies observing that protein helps with weight loss had people getting 25 to 30% of their calories from protein. Therefore, this may be a good range to try. Try increasing your intake of high-protein foods such as whole eggs, fish, legumes, nuts, meat, and dairy products. These are the best protein sources for your diet. When following a vegetarian or vegan diet, check out this article on how to increase your protein intake. If you struggle with getting enough protein in your diet, a quality protein supplement, like whey protein, is a healthy and convenient way to boost your total intake. You can find plenty of protein powder options online. 11. Eat fiber-rich foods. Dietary fiber is mostly indigestible plant matter. Eating plenty of fiber can help with weight loss. However, the type of fiber is important. It appears that mostly the soluble and viscous fibers have an effect on your weight. These are fibers that bind water and form a thick gel that sits in your gut. This gel can dramatically slow the movement of food through your digestive system. It can also slow down the digestion and absorption of nutrients. The end result is a prolonged feeling of fullness and reduced appetite. One review study found that an additional 14 grams of fiber per day were linked to a 10% decrease in calorie intake and weight loss of around 4.5 pounds, 2 kilograms, over 4 months. One 5-year study reported that eating 10 grams of soluble fiber per day was linked to a 3.7% reduction in the amount of fat in the abdominal cavity. This implies that soluble fiber may be particularly effective at reducing harmful belly fat. The best way to get more fiber is to eat a lot of plant foods, including vegetables and fruit. Legumes are also a good source, as well as some cereals, such as whole oats. You can also try taking a fiber supplement like glucomannan. This is one of the most viscous dietary fibers, and studies suggest it can help with weight loss. It's important to talk to your healthcare provider before introducing this or any supplement to your dietary regimen. 12. Exercise regularly. Exercise is among the best things you can do to increase your chances of living a long, healthy life and avoiding disease. Helping to reduce abdominal fat is among the amazing health benefits of exercise. This doesn't mean doing abdominal exercises, as spot reduction, losing fat in one spot, is not possible. In one study, 6 weeks of training just the abdominal muscles had no measurable effect on waist circumference or the amount of fat in the abdominal cavity. Weight training and cardiovascular exercise will reduce fat across the body. Aerobic exercise, like walking, running, and swimming, can allow major reductions in abdominal fat. Another study found that exercise completely prevented people from regaining abdominal fat after weight loss, implying that exercise is particularly important during weight maintenance. Exercise also leads to reduced inflammation, lower blood sugar levels, and improvements in other metabolic problems associated with excess abdominal fat. 13. Track your food intake. Most people know that what you eat is important, but many don't know specifically what they're eating. A person might think they're eating a high-protein or low-carb diet, but without keeping track, it's easy to overestimate or underestimate food intake. Tracking food intake doesn't mean you need to weigh and measure everything you eat. Tracking intake every now and then for a few days in a row can help you realize the most important areas for change. Planning ahead can help you achieve specific goals, such as boosting your protein intake to 25 to 30% of calories or cutting down on unhealthy carbs. Check out these articles here for a calorie calculator and a list of free online tools and apps to track what you're eating. 14. Accept that your behaviors will adjust. A big part of weight loss is simply being aware of the decisions you're making. For example, when out at happy hour with friends, you may lose track of how much you're eating or drinking. But if you take a split second to step back and become aware of that fact, you're able to course correct. The awareness and then planning for what else I can be doing that might give me the same benefit of eating comfort foods, says Gagliardi. 15. Embrace healthy fats. If you want to lose fat, you have to eat fat. The right kind, that is. Adding healthy fats, in the form of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, can help you feel more satisfied with your meals. Yassi Ansari, MS, RD, CSST, National Medial Spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, says, fat sources that I recommend boosting in the diet come from unsaturated fatty acids found in foods like olive oil, nuts, avocados, fatty fish, and eggs, as they can help increase satiety while providing a variety of health benefits when consumed in moderation. You can increase your intake of healthy fats by adding some chopped avocado into your salads, enjoying wild salmon twice a week, and having a little peanut butter with your post-workout snack or smoothie. Just remember to enjoy them in moderation as they're still very calorie-dense, Ansari says. 16. Okay, now you can do some crunches. Although you can't spot reduced fat, you can target building lean muscle tissue, which in turn helps burn fat. There are literally dozens of muscles between your shoulders and your hips that are involved in every movement you do, says DiVecchio. The fastest way to create a lean midsection begins with choosing the right moves. Aim to do ab work 3 or 4 times a week on non-consecutive days with at least 24 hours of rest in between sessions, says Gagliardi. During those sessions, you can start with simpler moves like crunches, bicycle crunches, and planks. Even though you may only be directly targeting your abs 3 or 4 times a week, you should still be activating your core, aka, tightening your ab muscles, in every workout you do, says Gagliardi. There are tons of different ab workouts you can do right in your home. Once you're comfortable in an ab routine, work your way up to more complex ab exercises, like side-to-side med ball slams and weighted Russian twists, says DiVecchio. 17. Try to limit your stress. Stress can mess with every part of your body, but how you deal with it can make or break your weight loss goals. I think most of the effect of stress is behavioral rather than neurochemical, says Dr. Cheskin. It makes us eat more, because we use food as a substitute for dealing with stress. The truth is, eating food to make yourself feel better is usually a whole lot easier than actually facing the stress head-on. People gravitate towards something that doesn't require anybody else to do it, is immediately satisfying, and doesn't take a whole lot of effort, especially if you're just opening up a package or box, says Dr. Cheskin. Stress eating can only lead to one thing: growing your belly rather than whittling it. If you find yourself stress eating, take a step back and think, what's causing my stress, and what can I do about it? Find a way to remedy the solution or talk through it with a therapist rather than turning to a bag of Doritos. 18. Prioritize quality sleep. Sleep is huge when it comes to your weight loss success, and that's both if you sleep too much or too little. Sleeping too much is probably not great for you health-wise, says Dr. Cheskin. But sleeping too little is worse. Case in point, one 2017 review and meta-analysis from the UK found that people who slept 5.5 hours or less per night ate an extra 385 calories a day after compared to those who snoozed for at least 7 to 12 hours. On top of that, they preferred to munch on fatty foods full of empty calories, like chips. If you're only getting a minimal amount of sleep each night, that leaves more time for you to snack and make otherwise unhealthy decisions that could affect your weight loss. Although it will vary from person to person on how much sleep you actually need to be most effective, and therefore make progress towards your weight loss goals, the ideal number is typically 7 or 8 hours, says Dr. Cheskin. 19. Drink less alcohol. To lose weight, you simply have to consume fewer calories, but that can be tough when feelings of hunger start creeping in. One good plan of attack? Ditch the empty calories that don't serve your goals so you can make more room for the foods that do. This includes all sugar-added drinks, like soda, but alcohol is a big one. Ansari says alcohol can prevent weight loss in several ways, including the fact that heavy alcohol intake can stimulate food intake. Binge drinking can overload the liver. The liver then prioritizes processing alcohol over other nutrients and then stores the protein, carbs, and fat as fat in the body, Ansari explains. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, defines binge drinking as having 5 or more drinks for men, and 4 or more drinks for women in 2 hours. Also, alcoholic beverages are often mixed with sugar-rich beverages. Drinking more than moderate amounts of alcohol can cause calories to add up quickly, she says. Research also finds that drinking frequently, even if it's a moderate amount, can set you up for excess. Not only do the beverages themselves contain unnecessary calories, but once you start sipping too much, your inhibition also plummets, according to one 2016 study. The result? You'll have a hard time resisting that late-night slice of pizza. So if you're going to imbibe, stick to 1 drink per day for women and up to 2 drinks for men. Order one of these lowest-calorie alcoholic drinks. 20. Cook more often. Spending more time in the kitchen can help you shed belly fat, as long as you're cooking with the right foods, according to a 2017 study. After analyzing data from more than 11,000 men and women, UK researchers found that people who ate more than 5 homemade meals per week were 28% less likely to have a high body mass index, and 24% less likely to carry too much body fat than those who only down 3 meals at home. The researchers explain that people who cook their own meals may simply have other good-for-you habits, like exercising more. However, they also concluded that home cooks ate more fruits and vegetables, along with a wider variety of foods, have healthier methods of prepping their food, and splurge less on foods high in calories and sugar. Consider any of the healthy eating books below to get started. The bottom line: abdominal fat, or belly fat, is linked to an increased risk of certain diseases. Most people can reduce their abdominal fat through taking on key lifestyle changes, such as eating a healthy diet packed with lean protein, vegetables and fruit, and legumes, and exercising regularly. Why?